guys, so today I'm going to be showing you one of my all-time favorite card tricks, and I really do mean that, because one, it's a super easy card trick to perform, and two, it's actually a magician fooler, so you can really fool a lot of people with this trick, and I can't wait to show it to you guys. So without further ado, let's get right into the performance. So today's trick is going to be sort of a mind reading trick, but it's not really a normal mind reading trick, so I'll explain why a little bit later. But for now, I actually need the spectator to go ahead and just select any card that they like out of these 52 cards here. So we're gonna do this by having the spectator just call out stop as I dribble through the cards, so they can call out stop whenever they like. Stop, okay. Go ahead and take a look at this card over here. I will turn away, but please go ahead and remember this card the best that you can, okay? So once you're done remembering that card, I will just spread out the cards here, and you can go ahead and place that card anywhere you like into the middle of the deck, and you can go ahead and shuffle the cards. Spectator, go ahead, take the cards, give it some riffle shuffles, give it some overhand shuffles, give it some cuts. Do whatever you like, because it really is up to you. So at this point, the card is hopelessly lost in the deck, and like I said, this is a mind reading trick, so now we're gonna move into that aspect of the trick. So normally when people think of a mind reading trick, they think that the spectator has to send over the information of the card to the magician. So like the color, red or black, the suit, and then finally the value. So each little piece will be slowly revealed by the magician reading your mind. But those tricks take a little bit of time, and I just want to make this short and sweet. So instead of you sending over all those little pieces of information, I'm only going to have you send over one word, and that word is the word stop, okay? What's going to happen is I'm going to go through the cards one at a time face up like this. When you see your card, I want you to say stop, but not out loud, only in your head, and I'll be able to hear you when you say stop, okay? So that's what this mind reading trick is all about, okay? So I'll go through the cards one at a time like this. When you see your card, just say stop in your head, okay? Hopefully this works. Nothing yet, right? Okay, we'll keep going. Stop right here at the 7 of diamonds. So this was your card. Okay, interesting, great. And yeah, that right there is the trick, guys. So I really hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, be sure to stick around for the tutorial. All right, guys, so here's the tutorial for the trick that you just saw. So I really hope you guys liked that performance. And like I said, this really is one of my favorite card tricks because it's so easy to do and it really fools magicians. All you have to do is get a deck of cards. There is a little bit of a setup for this trick. That's the only sort of downside to this trick, but it's not really a downside because you guys can clearly see how powerful this trick is. The setup is definitely worth it. And it's actually a very easy setup. So if you guys have ever heard of a one-way design, this is how the trick works. So usually a one-way design would be on the back of the cards, where the cards are not exactly symmetrical. So if you look at it this way, it would look one way, but if you look at it this way, it would look another way. But you guys are thinking, well, this deck does not have a one-way design, and it doesn't. All these back designs are completely symmetrical. So that means you can turn it this way, and this way, and it'll look exactly the same either way. What I'm talking about is a one-way design on the faces, and every deck of cards automatically comes with it. So as you guys can see, this 6 of diamonds here is a symmetrical card, which means that if I look at it this way, it looks like this, and if I look at it this way, it looks exactly the same as that first orientation that I showed you. So no matter which way I turn it, it looks the exact same way. It's a mirrored card. But there are some cards in the deck that are not symmetrical, and you're actually going to be using this to your advantage to create sort of a one-way design in your deck. So I'll show you what I mean. So as you can see, the Jack of Spades here is also symmetrical. Every single face card in the deck is symmetrical, so you're gonna ignore these cards. You're gonna go through the cards and I'll show you which ones have the non-symmetrical patterns. So for example, right here, the 7 of clubs. As you can see this way, you can see 5 clubs up here on the top, but if I turn it upside down, you can clearly see that now the card is upside down. So this is the real secret of the trick. So there are many cards with this type of pattern here. All you want to do is find all the cards that are non-symmetrical. So for example, that would be the 7 of clubs, the ace of spades here can be pointing up, 7 of hearts here can be pointing up. And when you pull out all of these cards, you want to make sure that you pull them out and they're all going to be facing the same direction. So in this case, I'm going to just set them up so they're all facing upwards like this. So I'll keep going through the cards. This one doesn't work. This one doesn't work. Oh, 5 of spades works because this spade can either be upside down or right side up. The 8 of spades works. These 5 spades here are facing up, but this way, these ones are facing down here. So you just want to make sure that all these 5 are facing up. So that one works. 7 of spades, this one, 2 spades facing up. The ace of hearts will be facing up, obviously, because there's 1 heart. 5 of clubs, you turn it so the club is facing up. 6 of spades, turn it so the 2 spades are facing up. 3 of clubs, turn it so the 2 clubs are facing up. 7 of diamonds, there's 5 diamonds here on the top, so make sure that would be facing up like this. 8 of hearts, there's 5 hearts here facing up. 5 of hearts, there's the middle heart facing up. 8 of clubs, there's the 5 clubs facing up. 9 of spades, this middle spade here should be facing up. 9 of hearts, middle heart should be facing up. 6 of clubs, the top 4 clubs should be facing up. 6 of hearts, top 4 hearts should be facing up. 9 of clubs, the middle club should be facing up. Ace of clubs, club should be facing up. 2 hearts here should be facing up on the 3 of hearts, and I think that would cover it right there. So I think if you have a full deck of 52 cards, which I have, you should be left with 22 cards here that are non-symmetrical. And all you want to do is make sure that you have all these cards here. They're all facing the right way, but you actually can give them some shuffles like this. So you can shuffle the cards, just make sure you don't turn any of them around because you have a one-way design thing going here. So if I spread through all these cards, you'll see that every card now is facing up. And if one card was actually reversed, so if I just take a random card out here and I turn it over, I don't know what this card is, but I'll be able to find out right now. So I will go through the cards and see, okay, they're all facing up, face up, face up, just like this, and I'll be able to find out the one that is facing down, and that one should be ace of spades right here. As you can see, the ace of spades is actually facing down because the spade is pointing down, but all the other ones are facing up. So that's how I can clearly find out what the spectator's card is by having this one-way design going on. And that's really how the trick works. So what you do is you have the spectator select a card and you secretly turn over the entire pack. And then when they place the card back, their card will be the only one reversed in the one-way design, and you'll be able to find out which one is facing the wrong way. That's the main idea of the trick, and now you guys can really go out and perform any version of this trick that you like, but I will still show you how I did the version in the performance. So the setup for that version is you take all your non-symmetrical cards, make sure they're set up in the right way, then you're gonna take all the other cards that don't matter, and you're gonna cut these directly in half, so try and split them as close to half as possible. You're gonna take all of your force cards here, these are gonna be your force cards, and you're gonna place them directly in the middle, so right between those two halves. So now, all of my non-symmetrical cards are going to be in the center of the deck. So now what you can do is you can have the spectator pick a card in multiple ways, but you just wanna make sure that they select one of your force cards. So the way I did it in the performance is I just did sort of a mock dribble force where I didn't really have a break, but all I did was I just wanted to time the force so that they would say stop somewhere around the middle of the deck. So you can do a dribble force and they can say stop. As long as it's somewhere in the middle, you're gonna hit it. So here, 5 of spades, that would be one of the cards. You can also do a mock riffle force where you riffle through the cards and they can say stop. As long as it's somewhere in the middle, then it should be fine. So for example here, 6 of spades, that works because that's one of your cards. And the final way that you can do it, it's a little bit more risky, but it still works. So what you can do is you can just spread out the cards and have the spectator pick out any card from the middle of the deck. So let's say this card here, that would work. That would be the 7 of hearts. So essentially you just want to force the spectator to select any one of these non-symmetrical cards. So in this case, they have the 3 of hearts, which works. And this is how you're gonna secretly turn the cards over without being too obvious. As they're looking at the card, all you wanna do is give the cards a riffle shuffle. Put your hands in the position for an in-the-hands riffle shuffle like this. You're gonna give the cards a legitimate shuffle like this. And when you finish, you're going to continue to rotate the cards. As you can see, I've actually rotated the cards 180 degrees. So I gave them a shuffle like this, and when I finished, I rotated the cards. They're facing the opposite way from the 3 of hearts. Now, some people might ask, what happens if the spectator accidentally turns this card around? Well, you just have to watch the spectator very carefully. If they don't turn the card around, then you have to turn the deck around. But if they accidentally turn the card around, then you can just stay still. You don't really have to do anything with the deck. Just pay attention if the spectator turns the card over or not, and that will let you know if you need to turn the deck over or not. So at this point, the spectator remembers the card, and what you're gonna do is take this card and lose it anywhere in the pack, literally anywhere in the deck, and they can shuffle the cards as long as they don't turn the cards over. So riffle shuffles won't disturb the one-way orientation, but you just have to make sure that you cut them like this, and you don't cut them like this. Like, you don't turn one half over. You just want to make sure you cut them like this, and that way they'll still be facing the same direction, like that, so it doesn't really disturb the one way. You can also do overhand shuffles and cuts, so it really makes no difference. Now at this point, you're just going to be going through the cards one at a time, and all you have to do is ignore all of your symmetrical cards. So all the face cards and all the cards that are mirrored, you don't have to pay attention to those. Only pay attention to your non-symmetrical cards. So when I deal through the cards, I see that the first one here is actually facing up. So that means this is the way that all of the cards are facing right now. All of the non-symmetrical cards are going to be facing up. So as you can see, 9 of spades is facing up. Ignore that, ignore that. 6 of hearts is facing up. So I know that every card is facing up, but the spectator's card is actually going to be facing down. So all I do is I go through and I just notice which one is facing down. So I see they're all facing up like this, and I just ignore all the face cards and the ones that I don't need to pay attention to. And right here, so right now I get to the 3 of hearts and I can see that it's actually facing down, because if it was facing up, it would show the 2 hearts pointing up. But here, 2 hearts are pointing down, and I instantly can see this, and I can just go through like 1 or 2 more cards, and I said, oh, sorry, wait, did you say stop over here? I think you said stop at the 3 of hearts, and then that would be the end of the trick. So yeah, that was just the idea of the trick that I did in my performance, but obviously you guys can use this principle for literally any card trick. So you can use this to determine what the spectator's card is out of a shuffled deck just by using the one-way orientation. And yeah, it really is that easy. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this trick, and see you guys next time. Bye.